Hello YouTube, my name is Surviving History, and today we are outside of Culpeper, Virginia at VFW Post 2524 to look at their beautiful and rare M56 Scorpion. Without further ado, let's get right into it. The M56 Scorpion was a light, self-propelled anti-tank gun employed by the U.S. Army and U.S. Marine Corps from the 1960s to the 1970s. The tank was very light, meaning it could be dropped out of aircraft. The M56 Scorpion saw combat in Vietnam with the 173rd Airborne Brigade, though it was not very popular among the Marines. The Marines, they'd rather have the M50 Ontos with its 6 106mm recoilless rifles, also because it was more armored than the M56. The M56 would later be replaced in the US military with the arrival of the M551 Sheridan, which could also be airdropped just like the M56. That's not the end of the M56's story though, as it went on to serve in the Republic of Korea and Morocco, which Morocco would later use it in the Western Sahara War of 1975 to 1991. The M56 mounted the mighty M54 90mm anti-tank gun, which could employ most of the armor-piercing shells used by the US military at the time, including HVAP and APCRT. The M56 could carry 29 rounds, which were located directly underneath the breech of the cannon. These were lined in 2 rows of 10 and 1 row of 9. Behind this armored plate was the engine, a Continental 4025 high-octane gasoline engine, which provided 200 horsepower to the transmission, which then pulled the tank forward through these sprocket wheels down here. And these sprocket wheels were able to pull the tank at a respectable 28 miles per hour cross-country. The track was very lightweight to the point where I could even wiggle it around, and it was made up of rubber and metal grousers. There were 4 road wheels that made up each side of the tank, each of them covered with a rubber tire which could run while punctured. The road wheels were also operated by a torsion bar suspension, which was also for the sprocket and the idler. This is where the loader sat when not on duty, right next to the breech and right behind the driver's position, which you can see just clearly as day right here. This is where the gunner sat on the tank, which is a relatively cramped position. There's the elevation mechanism down there, and of course, as mentioned, that is the traverse mechanism. There's also a grenade pouch down there, and there's more turret drive mechanisms down here, wires, all that fun stuff. And of course, you got the gun sight right through there. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, consider liking and subscribing, and tell me down in the comments if you guys want to see more. But without further ado, that's all. Surviving History, out.